Hello, welcome to Point of View. Today, I'd like to talk about Hong Kong. And the title of this video is Stupid is as Stupid Does. A quote from Forrest Gump. The Global Times reported that Alan Weinstein, the co-founder of National Endowment of Democracy, told the Washington Post back in 1991 that a lot of what we do today was done covertly 25 years ago by the CIA. The foundation now plays a major role in the infiltration and penetration of US-sponsored hostile Western forces into China, said Chao Wei, an expert on security studies at Lanzhou University. Their aim is to contain China's development and rise, Chao told the Global Times. On its website, the National Endowment of Democracy published the list of grants for China in 2020 covering four main regions: Hong Kong Special Administration Region, Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, Tibet Autonomous Region, and the rest of the Chinese mainland. With a total of 10.2 million, the grant funding in 2020 was much higher than the 6 million it unabashedly spent in this region in 2019, the Global Times found. The main player in this scenario is the stool pigeon of CIA, Jimmy Lai. Hong Kong pro-democracy media mogul Jimmy Lai has been sentenced to 14 months in prison for participating in an unauthorized assembly in 2019. Lai, 73, is currently already serving time for participating in another demonstration that year. He will serve part of his new sentence consecutively, meaning Lai faces a total of 20 months in jail. When massive protests broke out in Hong Kong last year, senior U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, called China to respect the rights of the protesters turned rioters and listen to your demands. But now, less than a year later, mass protests took place all over the states. Have the U.S. authority respected the rights of protesters and listened to their demands? Well, they don't. They are trying to glorify Hong Kong protesters' action by smearing China during the ongoing protests triggered by the tragic death of George Floyd. Hong Kong demonstrators and rioters, misled, fooled, and abandoned by Trump, the United States, and the United Kingdom, are being arrested systematically by the police. The legal saga has stunned many in Hong Kong, who say that it is a dramatic display of how the national security law is radically altering the city. The sweeping law punishes acts of subversion, secession, terrorism, or colluding with foreign forces by up to life in prison.
We pause for an important announcement. We like your assistance. Kindly subscribe to our channel so that we're encouraged to make more videos you like. Click the subscribe button below. Thank you.
With the courtesy of DW News, watch the video on Hong Kong demonstration and rioting.
Now, one of the biggest news stories of 2019 was the pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong, and there's no sign of an end to the demonstrations going into the new year. An anti-government march has been broken up by police after scuffles broke out between protesters and riot police. Tens of thousands of demonstrators had taken to the streets for a largely peaceful New Year's Day rally against China's growing influence and the erosion of civil liberties in the territory. OK, let's cross to our correspondent Matthias Böllinger, who is covering the rally in Hong Kong. Matthias, now this started as a peaceful demonstration, but now we're seeing violent clashes. What's happening there?
Yeah, the protesters had met today to set the agenda for 2020, that the protests will continue. The rally stayed peaceful for about 3 hours. It was a big rally, hundreds of thousands of people marching. Again, the organizers put the number at 1 million. Then protesters vandalized the branch of a bank and police fired tear gas, and then everything turned into these running battles that we've seen throughout the last 6 months, 7 months almost. And now the police have rounded up the protesters and they have made arrests there. More than 100 people, that's my estimate, from what I could see, are detained in there. The press has been driven out. The area has been sealed off. You see these bright lights. These bright lights are meant to irritate our camera, and the press has been forced out of there, so we do not know what's happening in there. But what we know, this is a major arrest and probably also a major blow to the protest movement today.
Remind us why people are still taking to the streets after 6 months of protesting.
A lot of anger has built up during these 6 months. If you remember, everything started when the government tried to pass a bill that would allow for extraditions to China. This bill has been withdrawn 3 months after the protests started, but people have accused the police since the beginning of being excessively violent. They have been using tear gas at one of the first demonstrations excessively, and that has driven people's anger. Then one thing came to the other. Both sides have radicalized. The police is now much more brutal than at the time when it was accused of being brutal for the first time, and the protesters are using more and more violence, petrol bombs. So in this cycle of escalation, there is no sign now from the government that they might compromise. The protesters are mainly demanding an investigation into police violence and free elections. 2020 is an election year, but the government has made clear that it's not ready to meet any of the demands. That's why it continues.
All right, Matthias Böllinger in Hong Kong, thanks very much.
Are you stupid or something?
I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
Are you crazy? Or just plain stupid?
Stupid as stupid does, Mrs. Blue.
I guess.
Are you stupid or something?
We have come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Let us know the videos you like and leave your comment below. We have regular videos, so be sure to hit the red button below.